New teasers for the third episode of the amazing Digital Circus have finally started to be released. Gooseworx has posted a brand new teaser for the third episode on her Tumblr. Now she's opened up her asks again and is ready to answer some questions. And the good news doesn't end there. The third episode is in the final stages of development. Soon, we'll start getting more new teasers for the third episode all the way to the release. By the way, somewhere in the video, I hid a picture of Pomni, and anyone who finds it will get some more info on episode 3. And I'd like to start by breaking down the new teaser. In the first image, we can see Pomni and Caine. What's much more interesting is that they are looking at a strange palm that is in the corner of the room. We can't get a full view of this hand, so it's hard to tell yet who this palm belongs to. We could assume that the palm is sticking out of the wall and doesn't belong to anyone, and is just a regular scary set piece for the characters. But I don't think so. I'll share my theory a little later in the video. It's important to note that the hand looks very realistic and human-like. Pomni, Caine, and this hand are in a dark room with low lighting and a wooden floor. If you compare this room to the rooms the new characters were in the screenshots, you can conclude that this teaser refers to a haunted house location. In similar rooms stood Martha Mildenhall, a cassette player, and a small ghost whose name is unknown to us. The dim lighting in the room is created by candles placed in several places. I am sure of this because from behind the little ghost in his screenshot, you can see candles near the walls as a source of light. There are posters hanging on the walls in this room that we can't see. By the other wall in this room is a desk. There should be a cassette player on a similar desk, but I couldn't see it in this shot. However, there is one very interesting detail. On the floor of the room, we can see a rug with the letter M. The only known character whose name begins with the letter M is Martha Mildenhall. This means that most likely this room belongs to her. Pomni looks stunned with fear. It's hard to tell what Caine's face is expressing, but I think he's very surprised by what he sees. We know from old responses to Gooseworx on Tumblr that episode 3 will contain some unpleasant and creepy moments not suitable for children. I believe the scene with that hand will be one of those. Gooseworx even mentioned dried rotting corpses once. I think that in this scene, Pomni and Caine are so amazed and scared from actually seeing that very same dried rotting corpse on the wall that looks indistinguishable from a real human body. We didn't know exactly what part Martha Mildenhall would play in the adventure until that moment. Because of the letter M on the carpet, I make a theory that this corpse is in Martha's room. Due to all these facts, I conclude that Martha Mildenhall will be the main antagonist of the heroes in the new adventure. The second screenshot is not less interesting. On it, we see Zubal and Caine. They are looking at each other irritably. It looks like these two are arguing about something. I immediately noticed a couple of unusual details in this image. If you look closely at Zubal, you can see a change in her design. On the right, she still has the familiar black and white stripe detail. And on the left, Zubal has a pink unicorn horn. We haven't seen the latter detail before, so it's new. As you remember, Zubal will have to have changes to her design in each new episode. I think this design of Zubal is exactly for the third episode. It should be noted that Zubal very rarely appears in any teasers because she constantly refuses to participate in adventures. The thing is, this particular design of Zubal is one we haven't seen once. He certainly didn't appear in the pilot or the second episode. I compared the new Zubal design to the one that appeared in the old teaser, where the characters are resting in a meadow. The scene from this teaser did not appear in episode 2 and does not apply to it. I noticed that Zubal's designs don't match, so the scene from this teaser is unlikely to apply to episode 3. I think the main mystery of the new teaser with Caine and Zubal is the question of where exactly their argument takes place. This place doesn't look anything like Zubal's room that we saw on the official collector's card. However, upon closer inspection, I realized that we were never shown a room inside the circus tent with monotone peach-colored walls. A lamp, a plant, and a red couch can also be spotted behind Caine. These are items we've never seen inside the circus tent either. For this reason, 2 more versions popped into my head as to where the events of this teaser could take place. The first one is the least likely. A similar room setting could well exist in the office space behind the exit door. In that case, it's no wonder why Caine is so angry with Zubal. Perhaps Zubal first discovered the exit door and decided to go in there. But Caine noticed it earlier than he did with Pomni and teleported to Zubal to tell her to turn back and go on an adventure. Caine has long known how players fall out into the void through these rooms. Zubal hates adventure, so she decided to disobey and try to move on. That's when Caine blocked her path. And because of that, an argument ensued between them. But I doubt this room is behind the exit door. The room in the screenshot has too warm a shade of lighting from the desk lamp. In every office room Pomni has run through, we've only seen cold lighting from office lamps on the ceiling. The second possibility is that this room is also in a haunted house. You will tell me that we haven't seen a room in the haunted house with such bright lighting. All the rooms there are dark and lit only by candles. But I have a theory that explains such a bright light in the haunted house. I think the haunted house may represent some kind of big attraction, like those scare rooms and haunted houses they build in real life. The room in which Caine and Zubal are standing is something akin to a lobby. It is the starting point from which you enter the haunted house itself and to which you exit at the end of the adventure. In this case, events could have unfolded as follows. Caine teleported Zubal into this room along with all the other characters, counting on Zubal deciding to go along with everyone else after all. However, Zubal, as usual, refused to go on the adventure and remained waiting for the others in this room. Next, as I had previously anticipated, this adventure would cause difficulties for the characters. In order to complete it safely, Zubal will need to go to the aid of her friends. And in this shot, Caine is trying to convince Zubal to go along to get the rest of the characters out of trouble. Now I'd like to talk a little bit about Tumblr Gooseworx and the release of Episode 3. About 2 months ago, Gooseworx was saying that it was shutting down its asks on Tumblr because it felt bad about running it. Users were asking too many questions, the answers to which forced Gooseworx to give little spoilers for new episodes. Gooseworx decided that we now knew too much about the new episodes and that she shouldn't answer any more questions there. However, just a couple days ago, Gooseworx reopened her Tumblr and asked for no more questions asking for spoilers. What's more, Gooseworx has already answered some of the questions that have popped up. One subscriber asked Gooseworx about the progress of working on all the episodes in general. To this, Gooseworx replied that the story and plot have been written all the way up to Episode 6. Animators are currently working on Episode 4, and Episode 3 is in the final stages of post-production right now. For example, the lighting work is already done in some places, so Gooseworx can afford to post random screenshots from the new episode. All this means that we can expect new teasers and the release of the 3rd episode very soon. What do you think about that? Does the room in the teaser really belong to Martha Mildenhall? What or who did Pomni and Kinger actually see? Why did Zubal and Caine argue? Write your theories in the comments and I'll be sure to read them. The best theories will make it into the next video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. Good luck everyone and bye-bye.